What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology of the Titans action, spawning the top of the map in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is Squash. His opponent today in the blue color, also playing as Zeus. His name's Ember Spirit, also known as Shelty. The map is Marsh and this is game number 3 in this who knows how long series, because I don't believe it was a tournament. It was just some friendlies they played against each other on the ladder to vie for the title of who is the best on that given day for however many games they decide to play. So, Shelty Zeus, Squash also Zeus. An interesting matchup for the simple fact that it's a mirror matchup. It means, well, basically what mirror matchups generally do for the players is they highlight the really small mistakes that you're doing while you're playing the civilization. Because if somebody comes along and they just cut the right corners and make sure that they are doing the right things to get the right stuff as fast as they possibly can, it's gonna shine the most in these games, because there's no secret fix to just get back in front of your opponent, because they have that fix as well, right? So we will see. We will see what happens in this game, what their decisions are. Both players have 4 gold mines. And I do love, I must say, I really enjoy seeing double Athena War Zeus games, because there's some really cheeky micro tricks you can do if you're aware. Things like making sure your Catastropus doesn't take any damage, using that as a Toxote distraction tool. Very cheeky. Very cheeky indeed. The Catastropus is going to be searching around for something to do here. Exactly, yellow snow cone. Running in circles with various units is cheeky. Indeed. Okay, we have relics. Marsh the best map because it has the most relics, right? Haha, we have the Eye of Horus. +2 town center population. 100% of the time, every time, pick this relic up. Flagstone of Buhan. If you feel like grabbing it, you can grab it, but it's not that important. Dwarven Calipers. This relic's actually underrated, I reckon. Yeah, I reckon it's not a bad relic at all. There's definitely some uses, or some value you get out of it. Because oftentimes I find myself short on the resources to get my siege weapons out, and this one will help. We also have a pair of gold lions. Give yourself those lions to run around, roleplay as set. Fort Temple coming up for Squash. I don't know, like, this isn't necessarily a bad temple. I just feel like it can be abused. I like to see the temples being built so that you have, how can I do this? So that you can have them coming out this way. So you still accomplish the same sort of thing that this temple's doing, but it's in range of the town center. So you put it here, right, instead. That way the town center will be able to defend it. And then you can put houses and the like around the sentry tower, like walls or whatever wall segments, and be totally fine. The same for every other civilization as well. You always got to be careful where you put the temple. Like, kind of like what Shelty did here. I think that's all in the range of the town center. Maybe this spot isn't, but that's just because there's a tree here. I believe he would have put it back a little bit more if he could. But what this temple here does is going to defend the gold mine a little bit and everything else. But we do see Hermes coming through for Shelty. Hermes coming through for Squash. So probably going to see some Centaur shenanigans, some fast second town centers, and some booming. But looking like straight up Centaurs coming out for Shelty straight away, whereas Squash is opting for the fast town center. Unfortunately, this town center is a little bit obnoxiously placed for Squash. He has to walk all the way around this tree here to get there, and he's going to have to send those villagers. Only sending 3? No, he's sending 5, but just from different positions. So fair enough. Jason moving forward. Don't. No. Squash. No. Squash, don't do it. Oh, sorry. I thought that was Shelty's Jason. I tell a lie. I thought Shelty was going to attack with his Jason with Eye of Horus, because that just gets immediately bolted, right? And just take the relic. But fair enough. Now Ember Spirit coming in. Shelty coming in with the Centaur. Immediately greeted by the Odysseus, though. And we do see the Dwarven Calipers getting grabbed here. And Squash trying to hunt pretty far forward. Bolt does come down onto the Odysseus, and Squash steals the relic. We'll see what he chooses to do. I'd probably just... Oh, he still hasn't bolted that Odysseus. Saving it for later is not the best of choices. There we go. There's the bolt. We'll kill off a villager here. Surely he does get one. So Centaur Hallmark is out, Sylvan Law. But while this is all going on, Squash is getting his second town center going. And he will be able to eat these water buffalo nice and safe. He's got pigs in his base as well. Not a lot of pigs, but he does have pigs. A couple of these lions are in Shelty's base right now as well. They have 70 HP, 7 hack damage, so not a lot. Not the best to deal with or to raid these villages as they just turn around and start killing them back. But a little bit of idle time there. Odysseus and Jason going to be pushing back against Ember Spirit's Jason here. Looking like Shelty a little bit lost with the Centaur, but he will be moving in. Can possibly get some chip damage done on these villages, but with good micro, you can basically waste the special attack. If you spot them coming in, you just wait for them to load it up, and just before they shoot it, you garrison them, the villagers into your town center. And we don't see that happening as a villager almost gets sniped there, but the special attack in 4.0 does not quite kill a villager. You need 3 special attacks to one-shot a villager. And meanwhile, with the Centaur shenanigans going on, we are seeing Shelty getting his own town center. So currently, the damage done for Shelty with these Centaurs is 2 villages. And the town center so early has definitely been more than 2 villages in Squash's favor. So Squash going to be happy about the position he's in villager count wise. He just doesn't have any real response to the raid. So he's going to be losing another villager here. Still getting that chip damage. Try and pick off these Centaur slowly but surely is generally the response to them. You can get a couple of little shots in and pick them off over time. That's what you want to do. Just sort of why the physician is in a bit of a peculiar state. But that's a balanced discussion for a different day. Villagers moving forward are going to be getting the 3rd town center for Squash, so he's still happily just getting town centers. Realizes that Shelty's got no real response to this. He doesn't have any military academy up. He's got nothing else. He can just sit on this town center, eat these hunt while sitting underneath the town center and be completely content with his life choices. We do see military academies are now coming up for Shelty. So looking like Shelty may be wanting to go for this town center. But remember, ceasefire is here for both players, especially Squash's ceasefire. We do see the Centaur coming, getting a little bit of a raid in here, but villagers do get garrisoned very fast as another Centaur is coming to help out. But now Shelty's probably got enough Centaur to start multi-raiding. So you hit this location here, you hit this location here, you hit this location here, and the Jason or the Odysseus or the Centaur will be out of position. So you can get a little bit of damage done. We'll see what happens here. One thing you do have to realize is that Shelty's been happily hunting without any issues for the majority of this game. So he's not as far behind on the economy, even though he's behind on the villager count, just because he's been much more happier on his hunt. But Squash has also been relatively happy because he's on board now. He was on water buffalo, so I guess that point is a little bit mute. But we see Hoplite getting spammed now for Shelty. He's looking to go But I feel like you got to be questioning your choices here. You know that there is a ceasefire incoming, or potential ceasefire. You just see some archery ranges are up for Squash. He's just happily booming here. Spamming them out. But even if he pops them out, there's enough Centaur that can come in and snipe those Toxotes very fast. Now the Centaur looking over here could snipe a villager. Nope. A little bit too slow. Jason coming over here. Gonna bash this Centaur down. Gets one little hit, 2 hits. Again, even lower HP. We'll see what Shelty can do. I'd love to see him getting medium upgrades for these hoplite before he goes. You don't really want to go and try and take a town center down without the medium hoplite, just because the extra HP really assists with keeping them alive. But it's looking like he's going. The Centaur coming over here as well. The Toxotes are making a showing, but the Centaur going to be sniping those down. You've got to be really, really on top of what you're targeting. Now the Centaur coming around, need to snipe down the other Centaur here. The villagers are on top of this town center, and it's looking like the hoplite are able to move off that and go on for something else there. But Squash does cast the ceasefire. Another archery range coming down now for Squash. And we'll see what he can do. I'd love to see Shelty follow this up with the town center grab here, but he's got no gold in the bank. He's still spamming these hoplite out. And again, I would have loved to see Shelty getting medium hoplites here. But this is all going to come down to whether or not Squash can spam out enough of these Toxotes fast enough. He will be able to get to the Mythic Age or the Heroic Age here. He's going through Apollo. So an interesting decision here to go Apollo while he's in the face of basically siege units. There's no bolt for Shelty, no bolt for Squash, so can't pick off the Odysseus here. There's no real unit that can pick off the Odysseus for Shelty. And he does have 22 hoplite, but if we remember last game, killing a town center isn't the be-all and end-all. Let's see how many units it's gonna be a trade here, basically, for this town center. You see the Jason getting sniped. Odysseus sitting in the back. Nice micro from Shelty, but he is going to lose this Centaur. He does manage to move it, but not fast enough. You see those Toxotes getting picked off. Nice micro yet again, dodging the arrows from the Odysseus. The town center still sitting at 2,200 HP right now and still going up. The hoplite still moving in and still trying to micro the Centaur. He's doing a nice job here. More hoplite flowing in for Shelty as he's still trying to damage this. Squash does hit the Heroic Age through Apollo. Manticore coming in. That's going to help out a little bit, but I assume the Centaur will just snipe that one, and we do see the Manticore still making a move in. More Toxotes popping out here for Squash as he's trying to garrison micro them and getting as much damage done. And the Jason does pop out yet again for Squash, and he's able to pick off even more of those Centaur. And this Centaur should be able to jump and pick off the rest of this Manticore as he does do this. And Shelty sitting at 115 population, Squashing at 87 population, but the Toxote ball is starting to get out of control here. These hoplite are dying so very, very fast, with Odysseus popping out in order to pick off the Centaur as well. Is huge. Nice micro yet again from Shelty, but the defense from Squash is just so on point currently, as Shelty is just currently just throwing units away to a town center. The Toxotes need to be away from those hoplite, because even though they technically counter the hoplite actually beat Toxotes in a one-on-one duel. It's just the fact that it's really hard for them to get onto the Toxotes is the big difference. And now Shelty has to get away from this. He hasn't got his third town center just yet. Not in the next stage. Run out of gold. And Squash is completely happy, content, sitting on 3 town centers, building heroes out, spamming those villagers out. And Shelty moving forward onto this gold mine as well. A very aggressive gold mine placement or gold mine decision there. Could have gone to the back one. He's deciding to come here. And the hoplite are moving around. They're going for some raids here. And the Toxotes are following them, but the hoplite are going to spot these villagers here. We'll see if he wants to fight this. I don't know where his Centaur have gone. Can't find them, but now medium hoplite are out. See where he goes. Hopefully he doesn't just try and bum rush the town center, because that would be a definite mistake. More houses coming up for Squash. And Shelty is definitely always gone. He's found a villager or two. He's going to get some kills. Hopefully he doesn't lose too many hoplites in this raid. But Squash is looking to go to the Mythic Age, it looks like. I feel like he can just go through Hera right now. And he's going to. He's going to be doing it. Picking off more of these villagers. Almost snipes one. We see the gold traded, or the wood traded for gold. Food going to be traded as well. And there is the gold. And we're going to be seeing Hera or Hephaestus. Hephaestus is the god of choice. So just playing for the armor upgrades, playing for the boom. Very smart play here from Squash here. Looks a little bit like the Ra play. Fast second town center into like a semi-fast mythic. And the hoplite's still searching for something to do, but it's gonna be a tough one. I don't think Shelty's close to the second age either. I mean the third age. No, he is. He's advancing through Apollo. So he will get mythic. Oh, sorry, he will get heroic age before Squash gets mythic age. And we've got the heroes moving forward. The Archer Ball against the Hoplite Ball does turn in the favor of the Archers. After a certain amount of them, you see the snipe on the Odysseus as well. Ceasefire coming through for Shelty. As he's still trying to spam out buildings and catch up on the economy here. So many boar. There's so much hunt here that's not being hunted for Shelty. He's just opted to go for farms. And if we check out, I mean, Squash has got farms as well, but I just, oh, the walls coming up around this gold mine. That's cheeky. That's cheeky. But I do feel like the hunt has been undervalued in this game. What's this? 8 boar. 8 safe boar not eaten. And each of these is like 300 food, right? So much. And there's the Colossus coming in to tank out like a bad boy. And where we got these Petropolis here, which are 120 wood, 160 gold with that relic. Now Shelty moving forward, but heavy Toxotes has come in, and that's just going to completely rinse these hoplite. I don't think Shelty should be fighting this one here. And he does decide to retreat when he realizes that the choke point's not there for him. These villagers need to get to work. And Bellerophon, the dangerous Bellerophon coming in. Very difficult to defend against this creature. This heroic creature. It's such a huge unit, 520 HP. It's going to force Shelty back yet again. And yeah, he's just not able to get to the Mythic Age at this point, and Squash's boom's just too big, too huge. So well played by Squash, getting all 3 of those games there. The fast town center is really good on this map. Played very defensively. It's the fact that he had these 2 water buffalo here, and all of those pigs just allowed him to survive against the centaur raid. If you're playing on a map like Oasis, you're going to lose so many more villagers to the centaurs, and also not be able to produce as much. Not be able to get to the Mythic Age as fast because you have to build farms so early. But in the end of the day, Squash pure Toxotes beats pure Hoplite. And sacrificing a bunch of units to try and kill a third town center just does not work unless you've got the right amount of units, and it's just not there for Shelty in this game. So well played by Squash. We'll get something else going in the near future. So stick around until we can figure out what we want to do.